Assalamualaikum. My name is Hanan AQILAH. My metric number is 1232269, and I will be first presenting on the movie summaries of Bini-Biniku Gangster before my other learned friend to elaborate it on Islamic family laws issues applied to this movie. First, Bini-Biniku Gangster was a romantic comedy or rom-com that was released in 2011, directed by Ismail Hashim. So let's take a look at the character first. First is Harry, played by Shazisam, is the husband, who is seemingly timid and soft-spoken man. Second is Manja, the first wife. In public, she is sweet and traditional housewife, but in secret, she is Kap-Yu, where a fierce gang leader. Second, there is Rihanna, which is the second wife to Harry, also appears polite but gentle, but secretly a leader of a rival gangster group. So, now let's take a look at the plot points of this movie. First is a motivation for polygamies. After 2 years of marriage, Manja remains childless due to an old injury of her abdomen. Driven by guilt and desire for Harry to have an heir, she decided without Harry's initial request to find a second wife. Manja selected Rihanna or the Harry's college for him, and then Harry agreed, and the marriage is formalized. So the plot or the conflict rises when the two wives live together. They discover each other's secrets, gangster identity. They engage in various physical fights and sabotage while Harry is away at work. Both wives maintain a perfect housewife facade whenever Harry is present, hiding their bruises and the chaos they've caused. This evolved a high level of mutual deception between all parties. And then it is eventually revealed that Harry was not as clueless as he seemed. He was aware of the secret identities and used the situation to bring the two rival gangs to a truce. The movie ends with a family staying together even after the truce is out. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMNI binti AWALUDIN and my metric number is 1232199. Next, I will continue with the issues that involved in this movie. There are three issues that we are focusing on this movie. First, whether the requirement for polygamy were met. Under Section 23 of the Islamic Family Law, Federal Territories Act 1984, a husband must prove he is financially capable and that the additional marriage is just and necessary. In this movie, the court will investigate whether Henry's marriage to Rihanna followed legal procedures, specifically evaluating if he could provide equal maintenance, which is nafkah, to both wives, and if Manja's consent given due to her perceived infertility was legally sufficient to justify the second union. Next, whether the wife's actions constitute nushuz. Nushuz is disobedience when a spouse acts in a way that violates the fundamental duties of the marriage. In this movie, a legal practitioner would look at whether Manja and Rihanna's secret lives as gang leaders, involving frequent absences from the home and involvement in violent activities without their husband's knowledge, constitute a breach of marital duties that would disqualify them from receiving maintenance, which is nafkah. Lastly, whether secret assets qualify as harta sepencarian. This relates to the division of property acquired during the marriage through the joint efforts of the husband and wife. In this movie, in the event of a legal dispute, the Sharia court would have to determine whether the wealth and assets acquired through the wife's secret gangster activities should be classified as harta sepencarian, considering that the husband was unaware of the source and nature of these assets while the marriage was ongoing. That's all from me. Thank you.
With regards to the first issue, which is the requirement for polygamy, we refer to Section 23, in which governs the application for polygamy. It is not an absolute right, but a court-sanctioned process. Now, to succeed, the husband must prove four cumulative conditions. First, just and necessary. Second, financial means. Third, the ability to treat his wives equally. And last but not least, creating no harm to his family. When we talk about just and necessary, the proposer's marriage must be proven essential and not merely a preference. Well, in terms of the financial means, the husband must demonstrate the capacity to support both the existing and new households. When we talk about the ability to treat the wife equally, the husband must always show that he can maintain equity between wives in terms of time and provisions, and that when it comes to no harm, crucially, the marriage must not cause darar or harm to the existing wife. It is easier to say that under Section 33, that the burden of proof lies with the husband to show the union is both financially viable and morally just and necessary. With regards to the second issue, when we look at Section 59, subsection 2, we look at the conduct of the wife and its impact on maintenance. A wife is not entitled to maintenance if she is found to be nushuz, meaning that she unreasonably refuses to obey the lawful commands of her husband, and that the Act specifically highlights two primary actions that constitute nushuz. First, leaving the matrimonial house without her husband's permission, and second, withholding association or refusing to cohabit with her husband without a valid reason under Hukum Syara. Now, to note that it is always important that nushuz must be confirmed by the court before the maintenance can be legally withheld. For the last issue, which is the dissolution of marriage or fasakh due to cruelty, we refer to Section 52, Clause 1, which empowers a woman married under Hukum Syara to obtain an order for fasakh or dissolution of marriage. Under subsection paragraph H, a wife is entitled to this order if she can prove her husband treats her with cruelty. Now, the law defines this as, among other things, which is habitual assaults, also cruelty of conduct. In terms of habitual assault, it is where the husband repeatedly uses physical violence against her. Second, when it comes to the cruelty of conduct, it is when the husband's general behavior and actions make the wife's life miserable. Now, this provision ensures that a wife is not legally bound to a marriage that endangers her physical safety or mental well-being. It is easy to say that the Act itself provides a balanced legal framework as it regulates the husband's right to polygamy, defines the boundary of marital obedience, and also offers a clear exit for wives facing cruelty.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AHMAD and SHAHRUDIN and my matrix number 1232170. Now we will look at the polygamy and the standard of justice. The first issue is the issue of polygamy. In the movie, Manja encouraged Harry to marry Rena because of her own infertility. Legally, this falls under Section 23 of the IFLA, which lists sterility as a valid ground. However, it is not that simple. Based on the landmark case of Aisha Binti Abdul Rauf, the court applies a cumulative test it is not just about the wife consent. The husband must prove he has the financial means and the ability to treat both wives with absolute justice. In the movie, the constant physical fighting and jealousy between the two wives suggests a breakdown in harmony. In the real Sharia court, this lack of emotional stability could actually disqualify a husband from maintaining a polygamous marriage. Next, we have the issue of Manja's secret life. While she acts like a submissive wife at home, she is secretly a gangster leader. This triggers section 59 of the IFLA regarding nushuz or disobedience. The law is clear. If a wife leaves the home without permission or refuse a lawful request from her husband, she can be declared as a nushuz. With manjas frequent, unexplained disappearance for gang business would be a legal example for this. The consequences is if the court declares her nushuz, she loses her right to nafaqah. However, it is important to note that she would still likely keep her rights to her own property and the custody of any children. Moving on the issues of harta sepencurian and the legality of assets. Section 122 of the IFLA deals with harta sepencurian or matrimonial property. Usually, as we've seen in the case of Pia against Sheila, even a housewife like Manja is entitled to a share of the assets because her domestic service provides the husband with the peace of mind to earn a living. But there is a fascinating twist here where under the principle of maqasid al-sharia, property must be halal. If Harry's wealth or Manja's wealth was built on illegal gangster activities, the Sharia court might refuse to recognize it as joint matrimonial property. As mentioned in the Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 188, the law does not protect wealth acquired through a wrongful means. So, being a gangster wife might actually cost you your legal claim to the assets. Finally, we look at how a marriage ends when things get dangerous. Under section 52 of the IFLA, a wife can apply for fasakh if there is a legal harm. The case of Harun against Omar shows that this is not just about a physical abuse. Mental distress and emotional suffering are enough. The kidnapping and the danger Harry's lifestyle brings would be solid grounds for his wife to petition for divorce. Furthermore, even Harry is kidnapped and goes missing, he becomes what we call a mafkud, a missing person. Under the law, if he is gone for more than a year, the wife can petition for fasakh. If they want to declare him dead for inheritance purpose, they usually have to wait for 4 years. But during that time, the law protects them by allowing them to stay in the house and claim maintenance from his estate. In conclusion, while the movie is a comedy, every plot point is a reflection of the very real protections and obligations found in Malaysian Sharia law. And that's all for me. Thank you.